Hello everyone, welcome back to Tutorial Tuesday. Not Tutorial Tuesday, but Tutorial Thursday. Sorry, wrong day. Today's Mani tutorial is going to be this lovely ghost Mani. We are coming up pretty close to Halloween, and it's time to start cracking out some of the Halloween Manis. So I'm going to show you how I made this lovely Mani. I have a set of tips pre-made for the other hand, and we are going to go ahead and go over the products that was used, starting with the polishes, and then we will go on to the stamping plates. First off, we have the base color, which is Maniology's one of their new polishes, which is called White Willow, and it is P155. They just launched this less than a month ago. I'd like to say 2 weeks ago, but I could be wrong. It may have been a little longer than that, but less than a month ago, and that is the base color that we are using today on here. I used 4 coats. It's a very jelly polish, so it does not have super opacity, so you want to use a lot of coats if you want it to be more opaque. And I used Sitcha Vitae's Quick Dry top coat. I used OPI's matte top coat. Sticky base and smudge-free top coat. And stamping polishes that I used was Straight Up Black, B171, Bam White, B170, Luna, B327, and Coconut, B268. Now on to the stamping plates used. I used Maniology's M315, this lovely ghost theme plate from last year's countdown box that they have. And Maniology's M071, their Ouija board plate. Maniology M119, a nice lovely shape plate that also has the moon cycles. And Maniology M064, the Edgar Allan Poe plate. Okay, so we're going to start off with the thumb, and we're going to use the, starting off with the ghost plate. Okay, this one right here. I'm going to go ahead and get my nice little gem stand to make it easier to do each individual nail. Okay. And we're going to start with Straight Up Black. We're going to be doing some reverse stamping as well. Or where's my stamper? Okay. There's my stamper. Okay. So what we start with is the trees. I'm going to go ahead and take this one right here. Scrape. Pick up. Alright. Camera angle. So you see what we're doing here. And I need to get some tape to clean off the bottom of this. And my lighting needs to be adjusted here. I apologize. Got a little bit too much light at that angle, I think. It's reflecting off of the plate. We're just gonna have to deal, I guess. Don't like the angle much. Okay, that's better. I found one that works. That's better. Okay, so we want this tree right here onto the side of the nail. Now, we're going to go ahead and do the other tree. Scrape, pick up, get ourselves a little bit of tape, and we want to clean up our images over here. We don't want to transfer those onto our nail. So we want to clean those up. And then we're going to go off to the other side of the nail and place our tree. Okay, so now we have our trees. And now we want our grass. So we're going to clean up this plate. That's when we scraped before. It got up into the grass. Now we're going to use this grass image right here. Swipe the polish across. Scrape lightly. And then we're going to pick up the grass and get some tape and clean up the images around it. Okay, now we're going to line it up at the bottom of the nail over the edge of the trees, just like so. Clean out the excess off the stamper. Now we want this lovely little cloud up here, and we're going to reverse stamp that. Scrape. See. And look at that lovely cloud. Clean up around it. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and go in with our nail art brush. And we're going to use Luna. Got a lovely little cloud here. And we're going to go in with Luna and we're going to fill in this cloud with this stamping color. It's a light, very light gray off white type color. And we're going to use that for the clouds. Alright, now that that is filled in, I'm going to set that aside and let that dry some. I'm going to go ahead and grab another stamper. And we're going to clean up the plate and get ourselves a second cloud. Clean up our plate. I apologize if I sound rough. I'm still battling a sinus infection, and I am type 2 diabetic, so this might go on for a little while longer. I let it go for about a week, and if my body decides to not fight it off on its own, I go and get antibiotics and get it cleared up that way. I just try not to overrun my body with antibiotics. So I try to give my body a chance to fight infections on its own. If it decides it's not going to, which it decides that less often with being diabetic, it still does it, but it's kind of hit or miss if I'm going to be able to fight it off on my own with any reasonable amount of time. So I might sound rough for a little while I'm trying to fight this off. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and fill this one, and then by the time we're done filling this cloud, the other one should be dry enough to transfer to the nail. So we're going to go ahead and fill this one in with Luna, just like we did the previous one. And then we're going to move on to the next step, which should be applying the clouds, but we'll see if that's dry enough. You don't want to go real thick, just dab it on as thin as you can. This is a very opaque polish because it is a stamping polish, so it doesn't take much to get opacity. And it's a nice, lovely little cloud. Okay, this other one should be ready now. Okay, so this is where we're going to need, I'm going to let this dry just a little bit longer. Let's see if I can show it. It still looks like it's going to be a little bit too wet. Still kind of bubbled up, damp looking, so I'm going to go ahead and let it go a little bit longer, and we're going to go ahead and scrape our ghost. And go ahead and get another monocle stamper, and we're going to go ahead and grab our ghost. Just in case, we're going to give it just a little bit more time, and we're going to go ahead and grab this little ghost right here. Zoom it in. This ghost right here is the one we're going to grab. And we're going to use straight up black for the outline, and then we're going to use Bam White to fill it in. Okay. Pick up our image, and we got an extra ghost. 2 for the price of 1. However, we are not ready for that extra ghost right now. So we're going to go ahead and clean up that extra ghost, which is kind of cute because now it's like I got a ghost sticker. Okay. We'll clean up the plate, set it aside. Okay. Go ahead and fill in our little ghosty over here with Bam White, which is also a nice opaque stamping polish, so a thin layer is all that is needed. You just brush just a little bit on to fill in the image. Careful not to touch the lines because it can smudge them, and then you have the blurry image. Kind of want to float it on as thinly as possible. Okay. Grab. I'm going to see whether or not I smudged it because I saw black pull up. Yeah, I smudged it just a little bit, but it's not noticeable, thankfully. It does seem like it's part of the ghost. So, be very careful when filling in those images. Okay, so now we're going to go in with our sticky base. Just that we're sitting properly in the stand. There we go. So now that we have most of our background stamped, we're going to go with the sticky base and apply it. So we can transfer our clouds and our ghost. Okay. Alright, where is... Okay, this is the first one. That looks good. Okay, so we need to wait just a few seconds. Let the sticky base get tacky. And our clouds are ready. So we're going to want to go over here just above this tree and apply our first cloud. And our second cloud is also ready. And we're going to want to go above into this corner and apply the other cloud. Okay, let's see if this ghost is dry enough, hopefully. Okay, now we're going to line up the ghost just above the grass and in between the trees. And then we're going to layer down. Okay, now we're going to go back and we're going to grab that same ghost plate. I'm going to take straight up black, and we'll zoom in so you can actually see this. We're going to get this image right here to get the face. The ghost. We're going to pick it up. We're going to get our tape and clean up all the other images. We'll grab our nail tip, or in this case, if you're doing it on your natural nails, line it up over the ghost and place down. And your first nail is done, with the exception of top coat. And on to the next one. So we're going to use the same trees that we did before. And I'm going to go ahead and grab it this way. And grab our trees, and I didn't actually need the grass right this second, so I'm going to have to clean that up too, because it filled the grass at the same time that it filled the trees. So I'm going to go in on the side, so you can see this, and I'm going to place a tree. I'm going to go in on the other side, and I'm going to place a tree. Okay, so now I'm going to need a different plate, because now we're going to go in with the gravestones. So this is where you're going to need Manny Allergy's M071, the Ouija board plate. it has gravestones at the bottom. Right down here, we're going to be using these. Get myself a fresh cotton ball. Oh my goodness. And we're going to go in with straight up black for the first round of gravestones. Scrape, pick up, and then we're going to I'm going to line it up over the bottom of the trees and stamp. Clean off the excess, and then we're going to clean up that image, and we're going to go back in with Luna, the same image. Scrape, grab our stamper. I apologize, did not mean to bump the stand. I know how irritating that little sound can be. Okay, and then we lined it up, slightly angled to it, and press down. Okay, so we're done with this plate for the moment. And then we're going to come back to this one here. Now we need our grass image again. And we're going to get straight up black. And we're going to go in on the grass. Scrape. Stamper. Pick up. Clean up around. Okay. And then just over the very tip, where the gravestones are, put some grass. Okay. Plate, and now we're going to move on to the Edgar Allan Poe plate. And the image we're going to use is this one right here. It's these little bats. And we're going to go in with our straight up black. Scrape. Stamp. Bats picked up. Clean up around them. Got one more little spot right there. There we go. Okay. And then we're going to line them up, kind of flying in between and above the trees. And then that one is complete aside from top coat. And then we're on to the next one. So this is where we're going to start off. We're going to need the final plate in our lineup, which is Maniology's M119, and it's the one with all the shapes and the moon cycles. We are going to be using the full moon from it. We're going to start off with the full image here. And the full image is going to start off, this is where we use coconut. And we're going to go ahead and fill our image with coconut. It's a very creamy color. Almost, it's got a yellowy hue to it. Ooh, sorry. Get the vibrations out so it's not making so much noise. Swipe. Pick up. And of course, we're going to clean around the edges. Alright. And then we're going to line it up close to the top, but not quite, and centered. And lay it down. Tap it down if it starts sticking up any. Okay, so now we need Luna. So now that we used coconut for the base color of the moon, we're going to go in with Luna on the lines. And we're going to do just a smidgen of reverse stamping in this case to fill in some of the color. Go in with Luna on the outline. Scrape. Pick up. Okay. Clean up around the edges. And now we're going to go in with Luna and fill in those little blobs of the moon for its craters. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, this is hard to see. See it better on that? Yeah, you can see it better there. Cool. Alright, so we're going to go in with Luna and fill in all these little spots here. And once we're done doing that, we're going to stamp it over the image we just put on the nail. That's a little better. Okay, so we're going to go in and we're going to fill in our images. That is not at the tip of the brush, making that very difficult. It's a lot easier if you have your polish at the tip of your brush. And we're going to fill this in. Okay, we're almost done with that. Okay, just like that. Clean up your brush. And now we have this lovely filled in images for the moon. And if you go thin enough, it shouldn't take very long to dry. And then you want to line it up, kind of like this at the top, over your already stamped solid color, and apply it. If need be, you can always put a layer of sticky base before you do that to make it transfer easier. I'm sure you saw the slight struggle I had to get it to dislodge from the stamper and onto the nail because of how quickly it dried. So you can put a layer of sticky stamping polish before, sticky base before you transfer the outline to the moon onto the nail. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the Edgar Allan Poe plate. And we're going to use this image right here. We're going to go in with our straight up black. Okay. Scrape, pick up. Okay, in this case, because it's so close to the edge, now we're going to want to clean that up still. And I accidentally hit the stand again, I apologize. Okay, and we're going to want it ever so slightly across the moon with the tree limbs. I want it kind of off to the side. And now we're going to need our lovely plate here with the Ouija board. We're on to these again. We want the gravestones. I'm going to go in with straight up black. Scrape. Pick up. Clean up any excess. Alright. Now, towards the bottom of the nail, we want to put gravestones. Okay, so now we want to go in with Luna. Let's zip this back out a little bit. We're having some focusing issues. Go back in on the gravestones. Scrape. Pick up. Clean up our excess. Alright, okay, quite the buildup of tape over here. Alright, and then we want to line it up just ever so slightly under the original gravestones. Stamp. And that's what it'll look like. We need to clean our plate. And then we're going to go back to the ghost plate and 315, straight up black, going in with the grass skin. Scrape. Pick up on the stamper. Clean up the edges. And then just at the very tip, we want to line up the grass just over the edge of the gravestones. And that is all we want to do. Okay. Clean up our stamper. Now we want the ghost. And the ghost that we use this time is this one. No, it's this one right here. This ghost right here is the one we use. And we grab it outline with straight up black. And then we will fill it in with Bam White. Scrape. Pick up. Clean up the excess. Grab Bam White. I'm going to go ahead and clean this plate. Get a fresh cotton ball. Right. Get that up. Get that all cleaned up. Okay, so now we want to fill in our image. Some stuff around here so I have room. And we're going to go ahead and take our Bam White and we're going to go ahead and apply it to the ghost and very gently float the polish around the image. And dab it in. Is the best way to describe this. We don't want to touch the black lines because if we do, it's going to smear it. So we want to dab in the polish into the image to fill it in. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're almost done filling this in. So I showed my husband the completed set that I had showed at the beginning of the video, and he had me cracking up because he thinks the way he saw this particular ghost image when I was done, he said it was preaching the gospel of spook. I guess he felt like it was trying to preach in the position it was in. I thought it was kind of funny. It was a really cute idea about it, but I don't know. He thinks that this image right here, this one that we're working on, he said it was preaching the gospel of spook. It's too funny. Okay, so we have our almost complete nail tip here. We have our moon, our trees, and our gravestones and grass, and we're just waiting for this lovely little ghost to dry up some. So otherwise it's not going to transfer nicely. So while we are waiting on that one, why don't we go ahead and start, oops, sorry guys, start prepping another stamper with images for the next nail, starting with this cloud. Where is it? There it is, my straight up black. I'm gonna go ahead and go in on that cloud. Scrape and pick up. So, there we go. And if you don't remember, we filled it in with Luna. So we're going to go in and do the same again. Fill this lovely little cloud in with Luna. And there's Luna. Now you only used coconut on the moons. The bulk of this mani was done with Luna, Bam White, and straight up black. We're using just pretty much grays and blacks and one cream color in the entire mani. Alright. And we have that lovely little cloud filled in. Okay, so now our ghost should be dry enough. So we're going to go in with our sticky base. And we're going to cover the nail with sticky base. Give it just a moment. Make sure this gets tacky. And then we're going to go off to the side, just underneath the moon and above the gravestones. Should be long enough, so we're going to go in just about here. Apply the ghost. And now we're going to go in with the same face image we did before, this one right here, with straight up black. Scrape, pick up, get rid of our excess. And then we're going to go and we're going to line up the face. There we go. And then that one is complete, minus the top coat. So we're going to go in on our next one. And we're going to go back to the Edgar Allan Poe plate. We're going to go back to these lovely little trees here, and this one's going to be a little bit trickier, so I'm just going to get this tape bundle I've got right here off of there. Okay, so we're going to go in with these trees, and we're actually going to have to do it twice because of the way I do this. I apologize, but this was the easiest way for me to figure out how to stamp this without causing hiccups in the process. We go in and we're going to clean this up, and we're going to be off to the side, and we're going to have most of the other tree not even really on the nail. I want the big tree on that side right here, just like that. And clean the image, and then we're going to pick up that same image and we're going to modify. We're going to take some tape and we're going to remove the bigger tree and leave only the little tree. The image, we're going to grab our piece of Scotch tape and clean up the excess image we would have not had in the first place. And we're going to go in and we're going to take and remove the big tree from this image. Turn my tape to the other side to a fresh bit of it. And very carefully remove the big tree. And then we're going to line it up next to the big tree on the nail. And then we're going to stamp it down. Just like that. Okay, so now that we've got our trees, we're going to go in with the gravestones again. So we're going to go ahead and grab our Ouija board plate, M071. Go back in with straight up black. Grab our gravestones. Scrape. Pick up. We have our cleanup step. So now at the bottom of the trees, we want to line up our gravestones and place. Clean off our stamper, go in with Luna, pick up the gravestones again. Alright. Clean up that plate. Okay. Where's Luna? That was Bamboy, not Luna. There we go. Luna. Cover our images. Scrape. Pick up. Clean up around the edges. Okay. Take our cleaned up image and line it up ever so slightly off center to the original stamp and place down. Okay, now we're going to need our ghost plate again. Okay, let's get this nail to stay on the tip. It's falling off the process here. Okay, so now we need our grass image again. So we're going to go ahead and grab straight up black, go in the grass image, that, scrape, pick up, clean up the excess, and then just the very tip of the nail of the grass. Just like before. Okay, so we need to put a layer of sticky base down now. Remember that cloud we did earlier? We're going to use it now. Now that we've laid down the trees and the gravestones and the grass, we're going to go ahead and take our sticky base and do a layer of sticky base on the nail tip, or your natural nail if you're doing it on your nail instead of a tip, instead of a press-on. And we're going to cover that with sticky base. Give it a second so it can dry, just enough to become tacky. And then we're going to place our cloud. Okay. So now at the top, off to the side of the trees, in the upper right hand corner, we're going to go ahead and place our cloud. Did not wait quite long enough. Should be okay. There we go. So I'm going to give this just a moment before I actually stamp over this because it's still slightly wet. But the next plate we're going to use is the Edgar Allan Poe plate again, which is the M064, and we're going for the bats. We're going to be using this. Grab our straight up black. And this is also one that's going to take a lot of cleanup with tape to get the section of bats that you want. Okay. Grab your stamper, pick up, and go in with tape. Okay, so we need to clean up this castle. Alright, so now that I've cleaned up the castle, we're going to go in and we're going to clean up some of these excess bats. Alright. Okay. So now that we've cleaned up some of the excess bats, we're going to go in and we're going to line it up over the clouds, just like so, and stamp. Now these bats will become more noticeable once we put top coat and have the matte top coat on. And that is the main purpose of why this mani is matte, is to make some of these details pop better. Okay, need fresh cotton balls. Okay, so straight up black likes to not come off unless you have a relatively clean cotton pad that you're using. So I'm constantly changing cotton balls because, well, it's the only way I can get it clean. It's a very pigmented polish, to put it mildly. Okay, so now that we've added the bats, this tip is complete. And we're down to the final tip, the pinky. Okay, so on the pinky nail, we have a very basic design on it. So we get this lovely little ghosty tree, bats, and grass. So this one will go very quickly. So we're going to start by grabbing our ghost because we want it to dry. And the ghost image that was used for this one, we need to grab our ghost plate again, is this lovely little one right here, where he's kind of got his arms spread open a little bit. That is what we're going to use. And we're going to go in with straight up black. Scrape, pick up, clean off the excess. Okay. We're going to go ahead and fill that in after we're done cleaning up this plate. Go ahead and fill in the little ghosty with Bam White. Okay, so fill it in. Remember to be very careful when dabbing this in to not mess up the lines, because the wet polish could cause it to smear and ruin your image. So being very careful, we're going to fill this in. And you can use a dotting tool instead of a brush. I don't like using dotting tools. Some people do, some people don't. It's just personal preference. If you are new to stamping, try both and figure out which one you like better. But personally, I like using a regular brush. It's easier for me to see where I'm putting the polish. It's easier for me to control the flow of where it goes. For some people, that's more true of dotting tools, of tools like this right here, than it is with the brush. And that's fine. Everybody's different. I just don't personally like using the dotting tools to fill it. It's easier for me personally to use a brush. What plate are we needing now? Okay, so we need, okay, we're going to set this ghost off to the side. We're going to need the ghost plate. And we're going to use, what tree? It was this one right here. Okay, we're going to use this tree right here. We're going to need straight up black. Clean up. So we're going to use that tree, and instead of putting it on this side like we've been doing in the past with this tree on the left, we're going to put it on the right. And just apply that tree off to the right of the nail. And then we're going to go in with our grass. Straight up black. Scrape, pick up, clean up your excess. And then at the bottom of the nail, line it up with the bottom of the tree. Press down. Clean up your stamper. Clean up your plates. Straight up black is a very messy polish. It's so hard to get all of it off of the plate. Okay. So we are down to this will be the last plate we use, and it'll be this image right here, the bats, right off to the side. And before we do that, we want to place our ghost. It should be dry enough to actually place. We're going to go in with our sticky base on our nail. I'll let that dry. Just enough to become tacky, about 30 seconds roughly. And let's see here. We will also need this plate because we're going to use this face on the ghost. So, okay, should be ready. I need to get this hair off of the stamper. My lovely felines decided they needed to share. Okay, so I'm going to go in and we're going to put this off to the left side above the grass, beside the tree. Just like so. And now we're going to go in with our straight up black. I'm going to go ahead and grab that lovely little ghost face image here. Tap a little on. Scrape. Pick up. So cute. Okay, so now that we have our ghost face, we want to line it up in the face area of this image and stamp down. Clean up your plate, and then now we're going to move on to our final stamp, our final image. These lovely little bats right here, we're going to use straight up black. Dab our polish on. Scrape. Pick up our lovely cute little bats. Clean up our image, and then just above the ghost's head right here, let's see if it'll clear up. We're going to go ahead and stamp down just like so. We're going to go ahead and clean up our images here.
stampers real quick so I don't accidentally ruin one with acetone. And now on to the top coat. Now we have all of our images on, and we just need to put on our smudge-free top coat and our matte top coat. Clean my detail brush again. Let's get that put away. Okay. Move this stuff up out of the way to make this a little easier. So we're just going to go in. We're going to top coat each one of these with our smudge-free top coat. Alright, so that nice lovely glossy look. Almost done with all of the steps, and then we will have this lovely Ghost Manny. Those ghosts are so freaking cute. I can't help it. They are adorable. Now, you could leave it glossy. You could top this with your favorite quick dry top coat and a glossy top coat if you wanted. Like I said, I did this in matte so that way things like the bats over the clouds and this, excuse me, this particular nail was more visible. The details would become more visible, and I kind of like the effect it has on the flakies within the polish. Within this polish right here, the White Willow from Maniology, because it just gives it a more, I don't know, foggy look, I guess. Like there's an actual fog in the area. Gives it a more spooky look, I guess, is what we're looking for. And of course, like I said, the images are clearer with the matte than what it is with the glossy, in my opinion. But, I mean, you can still see it with the glossy, and it's still pretty. This is a personal preference. I think at this step, if you wanted to leave it glossy, you could. I like it with the matte, though. And I'm not normally a matte person, but lately I seem to have been. Because it makes the images really stand out. So we're going to go ahead and go in with our matte top coat now. Be very careful not to go through the smudge free. So it might still be a little bit wet. Generally, I would wait just a little longer to add my matte top coat, but should be fine. And then we're going to go in. Matte top coat each nail. And there you have it. A cute Ghost Manny for Halloween. Now, obviously, you don't have to put it on fake nails to do it. You don't need to
It doesn't necessarily have to be an almond shape. You can still do this with other shapes, and you can do it on your natural nails. I have a mani coming up that requires me to strip off the extensions that I am currently wearing for the next video. So a little sneak peek into next week's Technical Tuesday is going to be how to apply Gel X system. So I'm going to be stripping off my polygel and applying those before doing my next mani, and that will be the following Thursday's video. So, and it will be another Halloween mani, so stay tuned for that. But this is it. We have this cute ghost set. Let's see here. Find the zoom button here and zoom out. This lovely little ghost set. So I hope you like this video. Oh no! I have to re-top coat that. But I hope you like this video. I hope it was helpful. And maybe you get a nice new cute mani for Halloween this year. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.